first up, to get out in the first ball game and everybody, all the questions, how are you going to play and how are you going to do and what's it going to look like and all. I thought it was a really pretty clean game. Some tackling issues, I think, late. The game was long and it took a while on both sides of the ball, both teams, I think. Then I think we'll grow into the conditioning part of the game. But what I was really excited about is what we've been doing in practice showed up. And Russ has been extraordinary all camp. He had a great summer, as I told you guys, and throwing the ball to everybody. And he had, perhaps his best throwing day numbers-wise, but just about you could have. And it was in great command of the game. And we messed up a couple sacks, but then after that we really cleaned things up. And we were able to really move the ball. And so it was a big day for Tyler Lockett, 8 catches. It was all over the place. Big day for DK, particularly the big touchdown pass. I think a really good showing for Greg Olsen, like we'd like to see him. He'll have games where he catches 8-10 passes as we go along. And the running backs ran really hard too. So I think, you're going to want to know about the sacks and all that kind of stuff, those numbers early on. But our guys really settled in the second half and protected Russ, and we really had command of the game on the offensive side throughout. Defensively, you couldn't help but watch Jamal Adams. He's all over the place. He had 12 or so tackles and a sack and was close on a couple others and just made some beautiful plays, tackles and hits and pressures and all of that. He's an extraordinary football player. But all the guys played well. Bobby played well. The guys up front played really good in the running game in general. I like the way we played together as a team today. And I thought probably the play of the game was Marquise Blair on the 4th down when they faked the punt. And he makes a great hit to knock the ball loose. And Rook, Freddie Swain jumped up, made a great recovery to get the ball. So I think what happened in the game to really make the difference was the defense winning on 4th down. They had to win on 3rd down, and then they won 0 for 4, giving up on 4th down. So really good job right there. So a lot of great stuff. Really fun that we got through it. Guys came out of it pretty healthy, and we'll get ready for next week.
Michael Sean.
Pete, what did you make of how Shotty called the game on those first 2 drives for the offense?
I thought he called a terrific game all day long. He just went with the stuff we've been doing that's looked so good in practice. Wasn't anything out of the ordinary for how we've been preparing to play. Really, the game, like I said, it looked very much like we've been practicing. That's a good statement about the looks they've been getting and the work we've been getting to get us ready. I thought it was a terrific football game for us offensively.
And how did you guys come to the decision of locking arms during Lift Every Voice and Sing before the game and letting out everyone do what they wanted to do versus during the national anthem?
Yeah, well, that really was handled by the captains for the most part. Mo Kelly helped communicate with Atlanta, so we knew what we were doing together. I thought it was a really good statement by both teams, and to make a statement, we don't know how much we can do to help, but we're going to keep trying. We don't ever want to go back, so we know that. So never go back was really kind of the thought of the day, and we'll see what happens next week.
Thanks.
Let me say this, I was really proud of the leadership of Bobby and Russ and Nico and those guys to get it all wired so everybody felt comfortable with how he did it.
Greg Bell.
Hi, Pete. First of all, I wanted to know, we could hear you up here in the press box screaming woo some of the times. And after the
You
score,
could?
you were yelling stuff.
Uh-oh.
So I just let you know. It was kind of quiet in here.
Really? God, I've been kind of anonymous for a long time here. I might have to change my game a little bit.
The whole let Russ cook that everyone talks about, 21 passes the first 35 play calls. I know that's dependent on the opponent, but how much was today maybe a sign of what you want to do the rest of the season with him?
Well, I think it's just a sign of how we've worked in this offseason, and like I've said it 3 or 4 times already that it's really the way we've been practicing. And Russell was in total command of the game and had a beautiful game. But there's so many things that factor in on that. That's Shotty making the calls. It's all the preparation to get there. It's the guys coming through with their plays and all that. Russ will be the first to tell you. And so it is a statement though of the offseason. This whole Zoom season, our guys did a marvelous job. Russ was extremely involved, integrally involved with all of that, and it just showed. It showed. We were together and tight and functioning well. I don't know what we did on third down. I don't know if it was any good, but we just were able to move the ball. Even when we were backed up with some penalty situations or sacks, we came right back and converted. And that's confidence and belief. And it's these guys are first game. They've earned their way right here. They've earned their way to play like that by the way they practiced.
And with Jamal, how much does he just change entirely how you play defensively because of all the things he can do, the speed, the aggressiveness?
He's totally freelancing. He's on his own. We have no control over the guy. No, that's not true. He is such a marvelous football player. You just got to put him in positions to give him a chance, and then stuff happens. And I thought Kenny called a terrific game to keep them off balance, even though they put up a bunch of yards because we were way ahead. I liked our attacking style, and our guys really played to it well. So we'll grow from here. Just first shot.
How do you resist the urge not to blitz him every down?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we should, Greg. I don't know. I haven't thought about that.
Art Teal.
Art, do you know that? I know you're really tall, but you look like you're about 15 feet tall in that picture right there. You really look a little scary.
Yeah. I'm standing up at my table, and I'm only 12 feet tall. So, the 4th and 3 call, 38-yard line to Metcalf, that's something we saw a lot of in practice. What went into the decision between you and Shoddy to pull the trigger at that moment?
Really believing in our guys. And I mean, look how much belief and how comfortable Russ was in that situation. He didn't just think to dink it try to get the conversion. He took what was there and took a great shot to DK. Beautiful execution by both those guys. But that's Russ. That's Russ just making the most of the opportunity. And I think it was a really good illustration of that. And to execute like that under that circumstance is what we really hope to see. And first game out, gave him a shot, went for it, and up it goes. That was a huge play in the game.
Thanks.
Chris Francis.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned Jamal making plays. The secondary did have some ups and downs today, though. How long do you think it'll take for them to kind of get to peak performance in terms of playing together?
I don't know, Chris. We gave up that big play in the third quarter, which was really a blunder, and we need to do that way better. That really was the play that gave them to change the field position and all of that. And we were even playing for the situation, so we didn't do that well. But we'll just. We just got to get better and keep working at it. There's a lot of good playmaking in these guys, and you can see that they're really aggressive. They really played in tune with the game because there's such good communications during the game. We really played to the situations, and I think that's what you saw them rise up on 4th down and get all those nice wins. Benson Mayo had a couple terrific plays for us today. The ball he knocked down in a crucial situation, and also the sack he had on 4th down. 2 huge come-through plays for us. So. We're just getting rolling, and we'll need to play cleaner, a little bit loose in the throwing game.
Tim Booth.
Hey, Pete, being that you didn't have any preseason games, I'm wondering what surprises maybe stood out to you positively or negatively about the way you guys played today?
I don't, it seemed pretty much like we've been practicing. I don't think there was many surprises today. I was really thrilled to see Benson make 2 crucial plays, but he's been looking good in practice. I think, I'm not surprised, but what's really pleasing is to see us, carry that whole camp and all this offseason and go play football and execute like that on offense. I think that's the thing that will take the most out of this first game, is that we were able to go out there and really function. And Russ was, I've been telling you, Russ has looked great all camp. It's so integral in everything that we did in the kind of the process of teaching what we're doing offensively during the Zoom period, and I told you also that we've looked like we're smarter, like we're farther ahead than normal in the offseason, and I don't know what to tell you about that, but it's just the Zoom process really brought out the best of us somehow, and I think the coaches had a lot to do with that, but leadership did too.
Curtis Crabtree.
Hey, Pete, what was your initial impression, just kind of how the D-line played? Obviously, Benson had a couple plays on the 4th downs, but the group as a whole and how they fit into that with the 4th down plays too.
I think we came through in crucial situations, and then we were playing, back up here at the end, and knowing that they couldn't win the game if we did it right, and so we gave them, some good yards there. But I'm really anxious for us just to come back after this first game and start building on it. I really think this is a very good offense. The quarterback's really good. He's got an all-time receiver. He's got an all-time tailback. They got a really good tight end. They got an experienced line. They got a terrific play caller. They have a lot going for them, and they're going to put a lot of points on the board during the course of this season. And so giving them credit, I thought that we played the game really well, offense, defense, as we went through it, and gave up a little bit at the end.
Corbin Smith.
Hey, Pete, I know you mentioned earlier this week that you were possibly looking to play more guys. Jordan Simmons getting some reps today, Jordan Brooks getting out there on the field some. How nice was it in the first game of the season to be able to get some of those other players' experience while getting a convincing victory?
No, that was by design. We wanted to rotate. I don't know, until we see what the numbers were, but we tried to really rotate guys. You saw a couple guys, did cramp up by the end of the game. So we didn't rotate well enough. But a couple of those guys that did, they weren't even playing all the time. So we got to figure that out. I would hope to continue to keep the rotations going, let a lot of guys play. I think it's good for us in a lot of ways, and it shows our depth and shows our players that we believe in them.
Larry Stone.
I don't know why it's so hard to find you guys on this board. Where do you come from? Where's Larry?
I'm right here.
There you go. My bad.
Hey, Pete, the kind of visible energy and spirit that Jamal played with, is that infectious? Does that rub off on the rest of the defense?
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. He is such an energetic, just personality. He's got so much fire in him, and he's an incredible competitor. Does it rub off? Yes. And I'm so thrilled he's on our team, and we got him. As much, not just for the play, but for what else he brings and how he affects other people. And he'll continue to do that. And I thought during the day, when we go back home, our fans won't be able to see it in the stadium early in the year. And I wish they could, because a lot that goes on is happening, off the play field and on the sidelines and cheering up guys. And this game now with nobody in the stands really does call on us to really maintain the juice and the energy. And he's a wonderful player to exemplify that.
John Boyle.
Well, Larry just stole my question, so I will instead ask, have you ever scored a touchdown on a play where your tight ends run into each other pre-snap?
Well, that was pretty good, wasn't it? That's by design. We don't let them think we're confused. It's kind of a rope-a-dope thought right there. Look at, oh boy, they're all screwed up, and then out of nowhere. That's not that. No, I can't remember that happening. They did score a touchdown when our guys ran into each other on the other side. I don't know if you noticed that one. That was the corner out that they caught. Shouldn't have happened.
Bob Condota.
Hey, Pete. Pete, the whole atmosphere and everything of the game, was it much different? I mean, not having fans, the way the piped-in noise was. I mean, what was that whole experience?
It's different. It was different, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter to the game. And I got to say that we were on the road and we didn't have a crowd screaming at us either. But like way back when, I always felt like this is going to work out okay, because the guys don't really, they don't play for the fans on the game day. They're playing to play the game the way they're supposed to. And there was enough juice and energy there that it was really fun. It was really a fun game, and locker room was cool before the game and at halftime and after the game. All that good stuff that we love to, where we share all the energy of the build-up of the game and then the finish. It was all there. So I know it's more exciting. I guess there's more atmosphere, of course. But when these guys are playing, they got to go, and it's just the guy across from them, and the competition on the field was really, really good, both sides.
And we saw Rasheem Green go out with a shoulder injury or whatever. Is that anything significant or?
Who was that?
Rasheem Green.
Yeah, he was okay. He's had just a little something going on for a bit. He was fine.
Ben Arthur.
Hey, Pete, you mentioned the cornerbacks struggle a little bit. At that right corner spot.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say the cornerback struggled a bit. I said that they, in pass defense, we messed up a play. So I didn't really say that. But I'm not trying to correct you on that. I don't want my guys thinking I'm talking about them like that, because I didn't think they played bad. I'm sorry. Now answer. Now ask a question.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Sorry about that. Just with the rotation with Quentin and Trey at right corner, is the plan right now to kind of keeping both them come in and out, try and get a feel for
Yeah. We're just taking it as we go. Trey played a lot during camp and did a really good job and all that, and I felt like they deserved to rotate, and we'll just go to the next game and see what happens. That was a lot of work for Quentin today, and it's the most work he's had. So we'll see how he recovers this week and all. But it's great to have the ability to rotate. We had some flexibility too with the other backup spots in the dime and the nickel stuff, which was great. So a few other guys get in the game too, which is really it just helps us down the road when more guys play early.
And obviously Russ, was kind of the leader of kind of the offensive prowess, but Chris Carson had some nice catches. Just how have you seen him come along as a pass catcher over the last couple of years?
Chris has great hands. He really does. He can catch the ball as well as anybody. And he doesn't get nearly as much work at it, but just naturally he's got great hands. That was an incredibly perfect screen pass that we hit for the touchdown. All the guys out front, I can't wait to see that and show that in the highlights and stuff. But he also ran it perfectly, and the timing was beautiful and all. The execution was exquisite on that one. But Chris will continue to be a target for us. He's just too good. He's just too good at it. He's really a natural catcher. If a ball gets away from him, once in a while, I know how he can catch football. It's like DK didn't handle a couple balls today, but he's incredible, and we're going to keep throwing it to him, because we know that he's a great player.
Thank you.
Brady Henderson.
Bobby looked like he was just a step ahead several times today. What did you see from him?
Yeah, he's played so well. He's been so healthy throughout camp, and he's been able to get all of the work. He's been doing great, and so it's no surprise that he would play well. It really is. This is an illustration of how you practice, you can play. If you trust how you prepare, and you don't go out there and make stuff up and try to do things that you don't normally do, you can play football like that. And you can tell it doesn't matter where we go. I mean, there's a lot of trips in a row coming on the road to the East Coast, and we're okay about it. Everybody asks about the 2 days and what's going to happen and all that. Well, I can't tell you until we get back home and figure out if we do all our testing and all. But I thought it was another beautiful illustration of the way we like to travel, and I'm just thrilled about that because it's so important. We got 4 more times coming to the East Coast or to this time zone, and we need to get really good at it.
Last one for Coach Joe Fan.
Pete, curious if the rotation at running back is how you want to keep things moving forward, getting everybody in there and making sure you keep Carson fresh for the entire year.
Well, I don't know what the numbers came out today, but it felt good. It felt good, giving those guys the chance to keep them fresh. Those are 2 guys that hammer the football, man. And then T. Homer is such a good change of pace that I just like the 3-guy rotation. And I don't know what the numbers were today, but it felt good. And imagine how much fresher it can keep a lead guy that doesn't have that opportunity. So we'll just go one game at a time, really, right now. And we don't need to call it in any way. I never have. And I don't think there'll be a time in the season when I'll tell you, okay, this guy's going to get all the snaps and this guy's not. I don't think that's what's going to take place. We'll just keep moving through the game and see what's happening and the style of plays and the runs and all. I thought we ran the ball well today. We didn't run the ball a lot, but we ran the ball well when we did. And really pleased with that. We good?
All right, thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks.